All praises and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ha Rakakadash. Double honors unto our apostles and elders which rule great millstone well. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa abababal. Alright, so it says right there, 3 men stabbed a 44-year-old man who accidentally bumped a woman with backpack. Alright, it says New York 1010 wins. Alright, that's who's reporting it. WCBS 880 News. A man was punched and stabbed by 3 unidentified men, which are showing you the photo of them being so-called black men, and most likely they stabbed up another so-called black man. It says after accidentally bumping a woman with his backpack on the mezzanine of a subway station in the Bronx on Sunday, police said. So they stabbed this man for accidentally bumping a woman, right? And they stabbed him to pretty much to death. It didn't say if he died, but you know, being stabbed multiple times. Like it said, the fight escalated and the men punched and stabbed the victim multiple times, then stole his cell phone before running away on foot, police said. There it is. The victim was taken to St. Barnabas Hospital in stable condition. Alright? And this is why the Lord is going to do away with these reprobates, these 2/3 that took on the way of Cain, which Cain killed his brother, right? In the way of Cain. Let me see, I believe that's Jude. Let's see it. Jude. It says in verse 11, Woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain, and ran greedily after the heir of Balaam for reward, and perished in the gainsaying of Kori. These are spots in your feasts of charity, when they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear. Clouds they are without water, carried about of winds, trees whose fruit withereth without fruit, twice dead, plucked up by the roots, raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame, wandering stars to whom is received the blackness of darkness forever. Which is what? They're going to be destroyed in the nuclear destruction of America. Because they have taken on the way of America. Which America is a so-called white, it's really Edomite, but they call themselves so-called white. But the Edomites are the red devil the Bible speaks of. They were, they descend from Esau, and Esau is the reincarnation of Cain, which Cain killed his brother. And that's what the name Cain meant. It meant to stab, right? To a stabbing weapon, right? And so they went in the way of Cain, and they're going to be destroyed with Esau, the reincarnation of Cain, right? Which Cain killed his brother, right? So that's what they did. They stabbed this man, which once again, I bet you he's a so-called black man, right? Or a so-called Latino man, or a so-called Native American Indian man, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which make up the 12 tribes of Israel. And that's why we're under these curses. Alright? And one of the curses is that men, right, they go out of their wits over women. This is why you can't be an emotional man, right? And you can't let your woman control you, because she'll lead you to death. You're supposed to be in control of that woman And that woman ain't supposed to be out really in public. She's supposed to be at home taking care of the kids. See, if your woman was at home with the kids, no one could have bumped her with their backpack. Another man could not have touched her. But that shows you that this is a wicked ass society. Alright? And that they have destroyed the youth. Alright? They destroyed the youth because these men that stabbed this 44-year-old man, it says right here, police are looking for the 4 attackers believed to be aged between 20 to 25. See? And they learned the way of Edom, which, once again, Edom are the so-called Caucasians, the wicked. How did they get America? By the sword. How did they conquer the world? By the sword. Look at what the so-called white man is doing to the Palestinians with their sword, the missile. Alright? So that's why these Jake that are in the way of the Edomite that live by the sword, they shall die by the sword. That's in Matthew 26. And it says, right here, it says, when they came to get Yahushua to arrest him, it says right here, verse 51, Matthew 26, verse 51, and behold, one of them which were with Yahushua stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant on the high priest. So this was an Israelite man, and smote off his ear. And it was Peter that smote off this Israelite, the servant of the high priest's ear. And it says, then said Yahushua unto him, put up again thy sword into his place. For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Which he told him to go buy a sword right before this. You can read this in another part of the gospel. But he tells them to go, sell their cloak and buy a sword. And then they have the sword, and this happens right after that. Which he uses that moment to teach them, right, to put away the sword. For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Alright? So the sword, the gun, the knife, alright, all those things, the physical weapons, are not for the spiritual men that are Israelites. Alright? Now, carnal men, right, the carnal mind is enmity. You're an enemy to the Almighty Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. Alright? That's why 2/3 of the nation of Israel are going to be destroyed like a heathen. Alright? It says in 53, Yahushai is speaking, that's why it's a red letter. Thinkest thou that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? And it said one angel could destroy the earth. Right? So he's saying, if I ask my Father Yahweh for, how he will send more than enough. I don't need that sword. I don't need you to use that sword to protect me. It says, but how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled that thus it must be? And that's what he was saying. Don't interfere with me fulfilling the prophecies. Right? Don't try to hinder the prophecies. Right? So he used the opportunity to teach which were disciples, and then they became apostles, which they were sent out to preach the gospel, which today we still continue that, carrying the torch of preaching the gospel. And we don't believe in the sword. We don't believe in the gun. Now brothers may use them in their work as security guards, or, have them for protection and for their family. You must have them, legally, right? Because we're commanded to be living righteously even amongst men. But we don't trust in that gun to save us, because we know that America is going to be destroyed with nuclear missiles. So what is a gun going to do against a nuclear missile, right? And then if you think that your gun is going to save you from the foreign troops, you're fooling yourself, right? In a shootout, right? If you think you're going to shoot it out in these last days with these foreign troops, you're out of your own ass, because they have upon thousands of rounds. Even if you have 1,000+ rounds in one shooting, you could waste all them rounds in one shootout with the military of foreign troops that they're going to send in like a flood. So the gun is not going to save you, all right? Now, you could use it as a tool as need be, as the law permits, but it's not going to save you from judgment. In fact, as Yahweh Shai said, verse 52, I'm going to just jump to the point. For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. All right? So that sword, it puts a target on you. All right? So it's better that you understand that the gun cannot save you.